Welcome everyone to my first episode of Fun with Guns for Destiny, and I'll be doing reviews of exotic and legendary guns, and maybe a few rares if they're actually good. I'm first thinking of the Stranger's Rifle, and today we're going to do the Vanquisher VIII. I will say this is the one bought from New Monarchy. This is a New Monarchy weapon. If you get a weapon that is from a drop, it will have different primary mods, and your stat mods can be different. Your primary mods are usually you have two of them. It's one right here, which I have glass half full, and I also have feeding frenzy, which is right here. Your stat mods is this middle column of three different items, and they can be different as well. This one today we have glass half full. Which is the bottom half of the magazine, causes additional damage. That's a 6% increase in damage. We have a magazine size of 22, which means at 11 rounds, you'll start at 0%, and once you hit down to the last bullet, it'll be 6% increase in damage. Glass half full is not bad for Crucible and for PvE. It's kind of useful. 6% is not a great damage buff, but it's a decent damage buff. You'll see it on other weapons as well. Feeding Frenzy is a really good thing. It's actually more useful in Crucible than it is in PvE. So this weapon, how it's set up, it's probably a little bit more better, and I would think in Crucible, but we'll talk more about that. So when you get a kill with Feeding Frenzy, increases your reload speed by 150%. So, and like I said, this is the one bought from New Monarchy. This is not a drop weapon. Drops will be different. So, so it's a after you get a kill, you have a 3-second time window to do the reload. So that is your Feeding Frenzy. Looking at some of the overall stats, it's kind of high on the fire rate. You're looking probably, if I'm not mistaken, max fire rate is around 600 rounds per minute, so this is about a 450. The impact is not too bad. Range is very low. Your stability, well, I have this perfect balance turned on, is pretty good, and reloads real fast. Probably the negative effects on this weapon would be lower impact, kind of lower range, and low magazine, and this is a auto rifle. For my stat mods, which is this middle column, we're looking at perfect balance, which is for low stability. We're looking at Hammer Forge, which does increase the range to a decent size, but you are going to take a hit on stability. And single point sling, which single point sling, you're probably wondering what that does. Well, single point sling, this allows you, if you are it gives you a 50% ready and away, so it means that you can actually switch the weapons faster. It also gives you a small 10% aim down sights bonus. So when you're aiming down the sights of your gun, it's going to be a little bit quicker. So it's not as good. It's not like my Icebreaker. The Icebreaker has Snapshot, which is aiming down your weapons really fast. That has a really fast aim down sights, but it's a little bit better, but Snapshot is way faster. So single point sling, I feel like it's not bad. It's definitely more, personally, I think, Crucible. Hammer Forge, if you're going to go play this with PvE, I'd go with Hammer Forge than anything. Stability is still pretty decent. And then a perfect balance, that's just a great perk. You can just basically almost max out stability overall. And yeah, so let's get in. I'm going to do a little bit of gameplay. You can see this, and we'll talk about the weapon. Welcome everyone to my first episode of Fun with Guns. So looking at how the Vanquisher VIII set up. By default, I don't think the Vanquisher VIII is a bad gun. I think it is a fairly decent weapon. Based on the perks that just bought from the bottom faction vendor, I think it's a little bit more geared for Crucible. Glass half full is actually, it's decent. It's very useful. I don't like that it's 6% damage. I wish it would actually be a little bit more damage. I honestly would rather have it be 10%. for the bottom half of the magazine, but it's useful both Crucible and PvE. But with Feeding Frenzy, and the way it is, it's more probably useful than in Crucible, just because Crucible is a lot speed based. You need to be quick on the reloads, and so you can get the drop on your next target. In PvE, it's usually shoot, get into cover, reload, get out of cover, shoot again, get back into cover, reload, get out of cover. And so Feeding Frenzy doesn't prove to be that much useful for my testing. And so that's where I really feel like the Vanquisher is more Crucible based. A lot of people that I've talked that had the Vanquisher 8 that bought it, that did not get it from a drop, feels the same way. If you have a drop version, it's definitely going to be different. I got a drop version actually originally when that was my first legendary. I broke it down. I wish I didn't. It had bottom half, and it also had bottom half Field Scout and Grenadier, and it was a really good PvE setup. So, but the way this one's set up, I really do think about that it's more Crucible. I mean, you also have a sling point, single point sling, excuse me, and that's really kind of, you know, more Crucible. You're getting, you're switching weapons faster, you're aiming down sights just a tad bit quicker. You also have perfect balance, which gives you that really good stability. And so, yeah, I mean, Hammerforge is probably the only other one that's probably could go either side. So in the end, the Vanquisher 8, it's a good gun. You just got to know that, you know, you got low magazine, your impact's going to be a little bit low, but it's not going to be crazy low like a Dr. Nope. But the way the one that you get from you buy is probably more Crucible oriented. So that's all for my first episode with Fun with Guns. I'm going to be doing more of these. Like I said, I'm going to do exotic and legendary. I've got a lot of legendaries. I've got a lot of exotics. So stay tuned for more episodes, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And I appreciate a like and a comment. And what would you like to see for the next episode? And a thumbs up. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.